Hi guys, and welcome back to Leslie Through the Looking Glass. For those of you that are new here, my name is Leslie. I'm so happy to have you. For my returning viewers, as always, thank you so much for continuing to support my channel. Today is Monday, so I do have a Mental Health Monday video. I am sharing my little bit of Disney with you guys with my new background since I'm still working on figuring out angles and lighting and all that good stuff, but we're definitely here for Mental Health Monday today. I have a few things coming up, but I really just wasn't sure what I most wanted to talk about today. And in hopes of always keeping my channel authentic to my personal experiences and what I'm going through, I just kind of wanted to share a more recent struggle with anxiety that I've noticed and kind of put into perspective this weekend, and share that with you guys in case anybody else is going through something similar, or in case somebody has an idea of how to deal with this a little bit better, and they've figured out a trick or two and can share. So before I kind of explain where I'm at, the point to this is everybody gets feelings of anxiousness, whether you deal with an anxiety disorder or not. And I feel like it's very important for people with and without anxiety to realize that having an anxious thought is not the same as anxiety, like as in terms of an anxiety disorder, if you will, or however you want to phrase it. But like everybody knows that anxious feeling. And when you have somebody that is suffering with anxiety, sorry guys, I don't know what's going on with my lighting. I have my ring light on, but I notice it keeps like focusing in and out, so I'm really sorry. But that isolated instance of anxiety is very different than somebody with an anxiety disorder that still might experience that like initial anxiety over something that anybody would, but then it really spirals in their life. And that's really where I'm at right now. This weekend, for the most part, was not a bad weekend. I got stuff accomplished and whatnot, but something came up, and I really don't want to go into the detail about that, but it's giving me a lot of anxiety. That being said, I think anybody would have anxiety in that specific situation, and my struggle becomes trying to contain my anxiety about a specific incident and like keep it in that and not allowing it to affect the rest of my life and having it spiral where I'm anxious about everything. And I am not figuring out how to do that super effectively yet. I'm aware of what's causing it. I know where my anxiety is rooted in at this point, but I'm struggling with how to not let it affect all parts of my life. And I feel like that's probably common. I don't know for sure. This isn't really something I've talked to anybody else about that goes through similar things, as I do a lot of the times, to know that it is kind of like a normal thing with anxiety. But I would have to assume that anybody who struggles with anxiety would have a similar thing where it really spirals on them. And so today I've been working really hard to keep the outside anxiety in check and really separate, like asking myself, why are you feeling anxious about this? Is this something you have control over? Using my facts, trying to talk myself down off the ledge a lot today, which is working pretty well, but I'm still having a lot of those anxious feelings, and working really hard to not let it, affect me more negatively across the board. And I wanted to share that, that experience with you guys and talk about it. I've always wanted to, share as much as I can. Obviously, I don't always go into specific details about situations or whatnot because, I'm still working through a lot of things when I talk about them, or they're just not things that I feel like I need to go great into detail with. But the overall experiences, I think, are something that might be helpful. So that's kind of where I'm at on this. But I know as somebody who suffers from anxiety that a lot of times people who don't suffer from it will compare like that moment of anxiousness to what we're going through. And I'm sure just like me, a lot of you hear that as well. And it is very frustrating because it's, while they're trying to be helpful and acknowledge something that is there, everybody does know that feeling. It's a very different feeling than living in it constantly versus, you know, getting anxious before a race, or getting anxious about a test or a deadline at work, or whatever it is. Like, yes, of course, somebody might be anxious about that. Most people would be, but that's very different than struggling with anxiety on a day-to-day basis. So that kind of goes hand in hand, because one of the things that I read recently was like an article about things that people with anxiety hate to hear. And then on the flip side of it, things that people with anxiety always will feel better hearing. And I really liked the article and really thought it was very interesting. And that is one of my upcoming topics that I kind of want to share those things and share my experiences with a couple of them with you guys. But I just felt like it was important to talk about this a little bit today and just share that, because even with the best of intentions, unfortunately, somebody without anxiety they can't fully understand what we're going through, and we can't expect them to. We can't hold that expectation to them because it's impossible, you guys. As frustrating as it might be for us to not have somebody that understands us, you know, we can't expect those who just haven't had to deal with it to understand. And that's kind of why I was so set on adding this Mental Health Monday as part of my YouTube channel, and what really inspired me to start this, because I am lucky enough to have a couple friends that go through some very similar situations as me and struggle with anxiety. And while I don't wish that on anybody, I am lucky in the regards that I have a couple people that I can talk to that do understand it. And I don't have to like try to explain it because they go through the very similar things. But not everybody has that. And sometimes people are surrounded by people in their life who don't understand anxiety or have never experienced it. So it's very difficult to feel like you're not alone. And so I just want to always try to be transparent and share my experiences with you guys so you know you're not alone. If this is something you're going through, it's okay. And I just really, that's what I want to do. I'm excited to grow my channel. I love sharing my Disney content. I love sharing my mental health content. I just really like this platform and expressing myself and getting to have the chance to share my experiences. And kind of, it's also neat to document my journey and see like where I've come, and so yeah. Coming up, let's see, what do we have, you guys? I have this weekend, I will be doing a pin mail video, which I'm really excited to share some of the pin trades I got in. And then I will have a Main Street mailbox coming that finally shipped. The shipping label's been created, so hopefully it'll be here in a week or so. Because I've been waiting on that one for quite a while. And then I still have some Mickey loot on order, so we'll have all those unboxings coming. Mental health topic wise, like I said, I want to do a little video on things that people with anxiety hate to hear and like to hear, and kind of share some personal stories with that for you guys. And then I also want to talk about some of the holistic things that I've been reading and experiencing and using to try to help me on my journey as well. So I think those will be the next two Mental Health Monday videos, unless something else comes up that I feel like is more important to talk about in that moment. But I think that's all I have for you guys today. I know it wasn't a super long video and it was pretty specifically focused, but I just want you guys to know, if you're ever going through something similar, you're not alone. I'm always around. If somebody needs to reach out, you can always leave comments down below. If you are not comfortable commenting publicly, I am on Instagram. It is Leslie Through the Looking Glass as well. It's just underscores instead of spaces, because Instagram doesn't allow spaces and names. And I will put that down in the description below. So you can always reach out on there, especially if you have any questions or anything you would like me to talk about. I'm always looking for ideas on what to share with you guys and what to kind of, have as topics for these videos. If you guys are interested in more of this content and you are not already subscribed, please consider hitting subscribe down below. If you hit the bells next to it, it will alert you when I post new content. I typically post every Monday for mental health and Saturdays for Disney. But I have a lot of cool things coming up. I can't wait to share them with you as we get to them. At the point of this video, I think we're almost to 170 subscribers, so that's so exciting. I have I think a really cool idea for hitting 200, so I'm really hoping that happens sooner than later and I can share that exciting news with you guys. But please hit subscribe, share this if you think you know anybody else that would be interested in this kind of topic, and I hope you guys all have a fantastic week. Let's go into this with a positive attitude and just try to do our best. All right, guys, I will see you this weekend with Disney content. Bye!